Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm sports editor Jeremy Smith. As usual, staff writer Ryan Lynch, staff writer Daniel Fanoff, and editorial editor Ian Green. Alright guys, it's been a big week in sports. Headlines have been Jamarcus Russell is expected to get released, former #1 pick of the Oakland Raiders, who's had just a big bust. He's been one of the biggest busts ever compared to Ryan Leaf, who was drafted by the Chargers, and they brought in Jason Campbell. How do you see the Jamarcus Russell situation playing out, and what team do you think he could go to, Daniel?
I honestly couldn't tell you, but there's been speculation that the Eagles pick him up. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Their lack of a veteran quarterback with some experience would say better than that.
Ian?
Well, the thing is that I know a lot of people are speculating that the Raiders will release him, but they've already paid him for this season, so there's almost no reason to release him unless to send a message to the other players. I feel like they should release him, but I don't see why any team would want to pick him up. He's fat, he's lazy, he's just a bad quarterback.
If he is released by the Raiders, I agree that I agree with everybody that he's definitely going to be a second option. I don't see him being a starting quarterback, but I don't necessarily agree with him getting released. I don't blame his failure completely on on Jamarcus Russell, as much as just the dysfunctional Raiders organization. He hasn't been in shape all the time, but he definitely has a skill set and size. He's 6'6", 260, big and mobile to succeed in the NFL.
Correction, he's 290.
Yeah, I think 260 is an understatement. And Jason Campbell's coming in, who's had a tough situation with Dan Snyder and all these different offenses coming in, like Shanahan now coming in, different coaches. How do you see him finally getting to a situation where it seems like maybe the coaching change will be put off for a couple of years? Do you see Jason Campbell succeeding?
I think Jason Campbell will have not the best experience from Oakland, but I think he'll have a better time doing what he does there than what he did with Washington. I think that he'll have more consistency as a coaching, and I think that he'll do better. Also, I think that the Raiders do better. The players that do better in Oakland are the players who are veterans. The players that don't do good in Oakland are their draft picks. Look at Michael Bush. Look at Darren McFadden. Look at Hayward Bay, who was second in the league in drops. And look at Jamarcus Russell. They are a bust city. That's why they had to bring in veterans, and I think Jason Campbell's a good call.
And we were talking about Washington just a few days ago. The Washington Capitals, the first number one seed to ever hold a 3-1 lead, and falls to the Montreal Canadiens, who is an 8 seed. Who do you blame for this? Do you blame the captain, Alexander Ovechkin? Do you think there's nobody to blame? It was just a fluke that Jaroslav Halak got extremely lucky in a way, made so many saves, only allowed 3 goals in the last games. Ian, who's to blame for this loss?
It is definitely one. I feel like they just kind of lost their focus after Game 5. They were up, Game 4. They were up 3-1, but then they lost 2-1. They just they ran into a hot goalie. So I'd say the goalie's the one to blame. Halak, he was just too good.
Ryan?
I'm not really sure what happened. It's 3-1. There's really no excuse for losing a series like that. What can I say besides they really shut down the Capitals' offense, one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, or the highest scoring offense in the league coming into the playoffs, and only scored 2-3 goals. How many shots were blocked by Halak? I agree with Ian. It was just amazing defense.
And Daniel, how do you see the team moving forward from this? Because some people are saying they're not good in the postseason, they're just a regular season team. Do you see them possibly even firing Coach Bruce Boudreau, who's taken them from a zero to a hero? Do you see them getting rid of some of their players? What do you see happening?
I think that Alexander Simmons is going to get traded this offseason. I think that his inconsistent play has been not helpful at all, because I think that he's one of the main reasons him and Mike Green were definitely helpful in losing this series. And I think that for someone like him, who's a second-line left wing, who definitely has trade value around the league, they can definitely pick up a solid right wing to complement back Sherman Ovechkin for him. And Bruce Boudreau will not be going anywhere. This is his 3rd season as coaching. He's done a lot for this squad, and he'll stay around for a couple more years at least.
All right,
They need a goalie.
Yeah,
Veteran goalie.
They might need a veteran goalie. Maybe Theodore is way past his prime. And finally, speaking of people not even close to their prime yet, the NBA Rookie of the Year was just handed out to Sacramento guard Tyreke Evans. Second place was guard for the Golden State Warriors, Stephen Curry, and third place was Brandon Jennings for, as everyone knows, the Milwaukee Bucks, who are soaring in the postseason right now. Who do you think is going to have the best career? Now, Tyreke Evans arguably had the best season, but Stephen Curry had a great season, averaging 17 points per game, 5.9 assists. And Brandon Jennings is coming alive in the playoffs and seems to drop 40 every night. Ian, who do you see having the best career?
Stephen Curry. I feel like he was in a bad situation with Golden State. when he came in, Monte Ellis said that they wouldn't work. That's all he said. Very unwelcoming environment. But he came in, he made 3-pointers. He made the most 3-pointers a rookie has ever made, ever. He made 88.5% of his free throws. He's a great shooter. He's a good passer. If you had good teammates and pass there, you'd probably get, 7, 8 assists tonight. He has a ceiling and it's high.
He already got 6 assists tonight, so that's even better.
And finally, Ryan.
I definitely think Tyreek Evans is going to have the best career out of those three. He's Sacramento's Mr. Everything. He played on arguably one of the worst teams in the NBA and still had a successful season. At point guard, he's 6'7". He has the intangibles to score, rebound, assist, practically do everything. And yeah, I think that's something he has over Stephen Curry.
Great. That's all for Sports Talk. I'm Jeremy Smith, Ryan Lynch, Jano Fanoff, and Ian Green. We'll see you next time.